growing up, I used to see my mother praying a lot. In my head, I'm like, what are they even praying? What is she praying for? Like, what? Why is she so into praying and stuff like that? And in one, okay, I was like, okay, it's good, but then I didn't get understand why she was probably so prayerful and stuff like that. Okay, I hate gossip, but I'm talking about this in this way, so that like it makes sense for someone who's watching and where probably I'm doing what I'm doing. And in one way, I hated spiritual things. Okay, it's not that I hated them, but I was like, there is that Pastor Tom, where he's so spiritual. Everything is around spiritual. And at some point, I used to fear them because I was like, everything is spiritual. I'm like, eh. I was kind of scared. It used to scare me so much till I don't know. I think it was God or something. But till I was like, life is okay. At some point, it scared me because once you go understand that spiritual world, you understand that dark side of life. You understand that actually everything is the way it is. But then I just didn't understand what they were meaning. So I grew up not necessarily a religious person, because religion for me, since I was probably young, I look at it as because I've seen people praying, I've seen people doing whatever, but then they are not probably prospering. People that prosper, actually, people that are not even doing that kind of prayer, that are not even doing that kind of thing, those kinds of things. You get? So I was like, okay. In my head, I was like, I think to make it, you're not supposed to be that to religion. That's why I didn't pick on religion that much, and that's why religion didn't resonate with me. But then you grow up and you understand actually why religion and whatever didn't make sense to you. But then for perhaps you call yourself spiritual, because I used to be like, I think I'm just spiritual. I just know God, and yeah, I believe in God. God exists. I know God, and that's all. That's what I used to take till I understood that actually spiritual, because spirit and science are almost the same. But then for science they use the mental, like that's the brain, that's science. Then spiritual, probably because these people, the religions fail to put a grasp to whatever is happening in the world. They call it spirit because you don't think it. That's the spirit, the Holy Spirit, all those things, because they are not physical, but they are there. But then when you go and understand, like actually everything is energy, and I got to understand and appreciate the spiritual part that I kind of felt, but then didn't really resonate with after reading around with on science. So that's why I'm able to talk about it freely, because I understood that everything is the same. For science, people are going to call it energy. For spiritual, people are going to call it God. You get? For the other people are going to call it that. For religion, it's going to suppose it's going to be, let's say, Holy Spirit or the dark world or whatever. For science, it's going to be, let's say, negative and positive. So it's the same thing, and I'm like, oh, that's why the fear went away, and I stopped looking at things just the way they are, and I understood everything is mental, and if everything is mental, almost everything is spiritual. So it just made sense to probably why I didn't resonate with religion, because deep down I knew religion was something that was coined up by society so that it can govern people. And once you get to a level, you understand that actually you don't even need religion. You don't. Once you understand these things, you'll be like, actually, you'll even feel like religion is just enslaving people. But then you're okay with it, because if it wasn't there, there wouldn't be order in the world. So it helps, especially for the young souls, like young people and all that, because they need to go through that. If they don't have something to tame them down, that's when you'll be like, oh, the world would go to chaos. That's why people put into these things, like society put up these things to help people. But once you're over that, because also religion is a stage. Once you're over the stage of religion, because perhaps people are actually praising things that they don't understand. People are in religion, but they don't even understand. They just believing. You get? It's okay. It can work up to a certain point, but then some answers are not going to be gotten in religion. That's why they'll tell you do not question. So in my head, I'm like, okay, why am I not questioning? Because I want to understand. Because they also don't have the answers. You get? That's why they tell you do not question. And then they have those sayings that whoever knows much will be asked much. Those are things just that are put just to discourage people from knowing. But then no one is going to question you. It will be you to question yourself again. You will ask and ask and ask and ask till you get the answers. That's why when you look at scientists, for them, at first they used not to believe like in God, and they call the God like probably it's just energy. That's why they be like it's just energy, because they understand these things. And once you use religion limits you. That's why people be like, they go away from the religion, because people misquote whatever is written in the scriptures. It could also be the same thing also in science or other world, but then people misquote these things and they use it to their advantage so that they can control others, which is okay. But till you get out of that, so you're supposed to study that, understand it, so that you can understand also the science. And that's why you'll see people that are still studying science. That's why you'll see research that's being done that's not helping us. The research, by then, most of the research people that's in universities is not helping us as to move us forward, because it's being done by the people. Don't know where this research is, probably science is coming from, where it's coming from. They think they know because they think they have read a lot, but then you listen to most of them and you're like, because I used to be in school and you would say something and people like the probably the professor or asks you, okay, where did you get that? I'm like, where did I get it? I just know it. Okay, I thought about it. Then they'll be like, but you're supposed to get it from a book. So you see, they expect you to quote from a book. So in my head, I'm like, if I'm so quoting from a book, when am I going to get time to create my own thought or to add on what has been done? But then they'll be like, no, you're supposed to first know whatever everyone has said. But remember, once you get to know whatever everyone has said, when you're going to start doing your own, or making your own theories, or making your own research, when the time has gone, like when you're old, you get, because you understand, okay, look at the oldest people, let's say like masters, where did they get that information from? Nowhere. They just came and that's why they tell you the biggest thing you can do is just observe society. That's why if you want to do anything, or if business and stuff like that, observe society, pray about it, things are going to come. That's how you're going to find the solution. So if you can provide a solution, then you're on the way of helping others, because in most cases the solution is going to be helping others. That's what they'll tell you in probably science. But that's also religion. They'll be like, okay, why are you going to help others? But the only thing that we want to get something from people instead of giving them something, which is okay. You can try it, but then, as you know, the universe balances itself. This is something that I've been talking about. Like, if you watch my entire catalog of videos, it's going to work, but then it's going to either end with you or you're going to struggle with it till you get back to the basics of how the universe works. You get, that's the thing with the research that's being done and all that. That's why probably it's not benefiting us in one way or the other. I believe, me as an individual, I've come to my conclusion that's why it's not benefiting us, because people spend so much time reading other people's work, so by the time they get to listen to themselves, time is done. So few people will come and do something that's going to be tremendous. You can look at the greatest work that was done, probably that we're still following. It's for long ago. But you mean all these years the universities have not been producing graduates? Actually, that's why people now put down education. Education is not bad, but education is supposed to spark magic within you. But the problem with our education system here, it just puts information within you. Now you see how AI was developed. AI has always been around. AI could be like intuition. What you want comes, like, it's just that. But then as Africans are still studying how AI works. So if you're still studying how AI works, the other guys will be on another level. So you're supposed to see, okay, how did these guys come up with AI? So that you go teach these young kids how to come up with things, not to teach them how these things work, because that has been all over in the past. But that's why we are so held back, because we are looking at how things work. We're just learning how these things work, and that's what school is doing to us. How to make these things, how to do these things. So you get to the source of everything. That's when you're going to make sense of everything. You get what I'm saying? But if you're still learning how to, okay, it's a stage, but then that's why for the young people that are coming to play, teach them how to fish, like how the fish is gotten, what the components of everything, how everything started. That's it. If you teach people how everything started, they're going to be able to start things. But then we are teaching them how things work and operate. If you're still learning how things work and operate, you're still on a journey, so that you can make your own things and know that you're supposed to create something of your own. So learn how something was started. Peace.